Fair use reaction, Blackmail Advice TV. We in the building. Let's go.
Wait, excuse me. You said your name was Alex Stein?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
What I'm saying is these casinos give people free drinks, and then they become vulnerable and then end up gambling more money than they have.
That's exactly what goes on. A lot of people don't understand how the system works. You're in the matrix. There's a lot of things that go on. There's an agenda, and that is pretty much what's happening out here, where a lot of men are literally being taken advantage of in various cities because they welcome you with open arms. You get the drinks in the system. Before you know it, the money starts coming out of your pocket. Let's go.
And I was a victim of that, and I lost a lot of money. And I'm facing a lot of issues right now. My wife's boyfriend recently got her pregnant, and I'm here for a church event speaking for, I'm a member of the Church of Scientology, and I don't normally drink, but I'm very vulnerable. I'm in a position now where I don't know what I'm going to do, because financially, I'm going to have to take care of this baby potentially, because he's out on parole right now, and he has an upcoming case where he could be facing a long time in jail.
And that means he would be responsible for the so-called child. See, as men, you got to be very careful when you're dealing with modern women, because just like this particular guy, he's having a pretty bad day. He's possibly going to be taking care of a child that is not his. His woman was out there being unfaithful, pretty much getting it in with Pookie and Ray Ray, and got her back blown out, and now she's with child. And I guess the guy that she was pretty much sleeping with, he's potentially going to be going to prison for a long time. And this guy, because he's vulnerable, he's stressed out, he's going through a lot. You know, his shirt is all messed up. He's just not in a good mood. You know, his shades is on his shirt. He's just not feeling good about himself. He's trying to get help from the council media and trying to make his points clear on the bad day that he's pretty much having. But let's take a listen.
So potentially, I'm going to have to financially support this baby, and I come to Las Vegas for a work event, and I get fed alcohol, and I get entirely way too intoxicated. I go to the ATM, I use my credit card. They make it very accessible to be able to gamble with my credit card. You know this, Mayor Goodman. They make it absolutely incredibly accessible, Councilman, to be able to take all I have.
That's exactly what happened to him, because he got the alcohol in the system, and pretty much the casinos are there, the alcohol is working, the money's coming out of the pocket, and you're literally going broke. And this is what happens. This is what happens in this day. This is what's happening in the world. And there's a lot of men that are suffering in silence with circumstances like this, and they just don't talk about it. Fortunately for him, he have an outlet by which he's talking about it. But at the end of the day, his story gets even worse. Let's go.
And now I got to go back to Clearwater, Florida, and I have nothing. So after this, after I start drinking, I'm very distraught. And the one good thing about this city, I will say, the one good thing is, of all the cities I've been to,
I don't want to hear what he had to say about the pointy thing and all that other stuff. I'm gonna leave that part out of the video. It is what it is. I don't want none of that mess, you know. So I'm gonna keep that part out.
Of the tourists that come here, like myself, you're preying on people like me. And then I end up meeting a nice Filipino girl.
He said he met a nice Filipino girl. I need for you to pretty much pay attention here, brothers, because we just finished talking about this the other day. Let's check it out. Let's go.
I take her back to my hotel room. Come to find out, I cost money for her service to come to my room. Mayor Goodman. I end up having a good time. We start kissing. We take off our clothes. She has male genitalia.
Male genitalia.
What?
Yeah. See, it's interesting how the other day I just finished talking about how you got men out here that are they're just doing whatever they do, and then they end up getting into these type of situations. It's very confusing because you really don't know what you're getting into. And to think that this guy got some Filipina type woman, whatever, brought her back to the telly, and he's kissing on this particular person and whatnot, and you know what I mean? And, he go to taking off all the clothes and whatnot. And then when he checked, he realized that it's a transgendered woman. You see how this is happening? And again, we talked about this yesterday, I believe. There's a lot of guys that are suffering in silence because they go through these things. They had these type of experiences. It's a horrible experience. And the guy is pretty much trying to tell the council meeting folks, like, look, there got to be something that can protect us. And, You know, it's very confusing. Like, what's going on out here? It's like you're targeting us. It's like, what's really happening? Let's go.
She's a transgender. Mary Goodman.
Excuse me. We're in a public venue, and I think.
What happened? So listen, I'm at a meeting.
Please, excuse me, could you please be calm and whatever?
You guys are preying on me, Mayor. You know, when I'm out there, I'm vulnerable, and now I have
Please.
a male genitalia with breasts. It's very confusing. How can we track that?
How do you track that? He makes a good point. Like, how do you track that? How it's very confusing because, you know, he probably saw what he thought was a Filipino woman, and for whatever the case is, he was attracted. The individual had breasts. Everything looked legit. And then when he get back to the hotel, it's not what he was paying for. It's not what he expected. That's unacceptable. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of guys that are pretty much going through that type of stuff.
Excuse me. I think unless you have an issue that we can address.
I think he did pose and address the issue that he was having. Like, what is she talking about? The guy pretty much shared his thoughts on what he's going through. But for whatever reason, nobody wants to hear that. So what are your thoughts? He's having a pretty bad day in Vegas. I guess what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas, you know, but he's having a pretty bad day. He was in bed kissing and fooling around with a transgendered woman. His wife pretty much was taking D from some other guy, got her pregnant. He lost all of his money in the casino. And he's down there for a faith meeting. Man, he's having a pretty bad day because he won't even be able to give an offering in the so-called church. Anyway, leave your comments, your feedback. Let me know what you think about the video. Blackmail Advice TV. Subscribe to the channel today. Why not? I'm out. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Blackmail Advice TV, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.